Hello students, I hope you all are fine. And in this video, we are going to discuss one important concept of link. And the link is actually language integrated query. So we use link in order to work with data sources, to fetch data from data sources and to perform some data manipulation operations on the data sources also. So there are a variety of data sources with which we can use with which we can work by using language integrated query. So what we do in language integrated query, we don't write queries as we do write queries in the form of structured query language. And in the structured query language, we do write queries in the form of strings. But instead of writing those queries into the form of strings, here we write queries in the form of language constructs. It means by using the language operators and by using the familiar operations of a language, we use to fetch the data from the data sources, and we do perform some operations on the data sources also. It means the .NET framework bridges the gap between the data objects and the world of objects. Uh, you see, with the help of the language integrated query, with the help of the link. So writing queries by using language keywords and operators instead of writing queries in the form of strings. And if we are going to write queries into the form of strings, then uh, uh, there used to be the difference of, you see, structured query languages. A little bit of difference used to be there for the various data sources, and for the various relational data sources, we do have a little bit of a difference of SQL, as well as for the non-relational databases or for accessing the files like CSV files, like XML files. We do again use the C sharp. That would be the separately usage of APIs. And similarly, if we want to access collections, in-memory collections, then again we have to use a separate constructs of a language. So that's why the language developers gave us the concept of language integrated query. Instead of learning different language SQL languages for different relational data sources, and instead of learning different APIs for accessing non-relational data sources, and instead of using different language constructs for accessing in-memory data sources, why not to work on a single uh, you see mechanism to access all those kind of data sources, and that single mechanism is actually linked language integrated query. Means queries or data manipulation operations for the data sources are integrated into the language, into the form of operators and operations. So with link, we no need to learn, we don't have any kind of a need to learn different query languages. And two benefits that we used to get when we use link is actually the support of IntelliSense and type checking also. So when we used to type the query into the form of language constructs, then you see Visual Studio IDE used to give us the support in form of IntelliSense. Visual Studio used to give us hints related to the keywords. Plus, Visual Studio also used to check types also that we used to write into the query. So that used to be the benefit of link. Well, so link can work with SQL Server databases, XML documents, ADO.NET datasets. We already have studied the datasets, and link can work with any collection that is supported by IEnumerable and IEnumerable generic interface. We have already studied generics. So by using link, we can fetch data, you see, from any kind of a data source that is you see supported by the IEnumerable or IEnumerable generic interface. So we do use for each loop for all kind of data collections that are supported by IEnumerable or IEnumerable generic IEnumerable collection. So normally in traditional applications, .NET applications, we use ADO.NET SQL to work with databases, XPath or XSLT to work with XML documents, or array generics to work with memory objects. But in the application where we have written queries into the link, you see, we can use link to work with various data sources like XML documents, databases, any object data, data sets, and entities also. So we do have a concept of entities into the uh, .NET framework, and we will study that into entity frameworks also. So we do, when we will write the link query, you see, uh, that link query has a link provider to work with the specified data source. See, so link to XML is actually the provider, the API that we use to work with XML documents. Link to SQL to work with databases. Link to objects to work with object data. Similarly, link to dataset to datasets. But they have the common interface that we use in order to access the databases that they are into the base. So link query operation consists of three parts. The first part is to obtain the data source, whatever the data source it is, we have to get it, and then we will create the query, and then we will execute the query on the data source. So this is graphical representation. Item 1 to item n, these are actually items into the data source. We will write the query, and after writing the query, after specifying data source to the query, and after applying filters, and after selecting the data according to the filters, we will execute the query. So this is the way of execution of the link query. So after execution of link query, definitely we will be getting the data, and we can work with that data also. So this link query expression, you can see query. So these three are the parts of link operation, and these three are the parts of link query expression. So the first part of expression is from class. By using from class, we specify the data source. Then we use where clause. By using this clause, we use to filter out the data that we want. After filtering the data that we want, we use to select it with the help of a select clause. This is one example of link query. Here in this example, by using link, we are working with data collection, in-memory collection. We are working with an array that we have created, and that is the dense array that consists of 7 elements, 0 to 6, and the name of array is numbers. So in this query, what we are doing, we have written the query, and we have specified the source, and the source is numbers. And from this source, every number will be obtained in this variable num. And on this variable num, we are actually applying the filter. And that filter we are applying with the help of where clause. And what we are actually writing here into the where clause, we are dividing num by 2, and then we are checking whether the division, the result of division, remainder of division of number by 2 is 0 or not. If it is 0, then select that number. It means we are going to select only even numbers. Select only that number from the numbers collection, the number whose remainder is exactly equals to 0 when that number is going to be divided by 2. And after writing this query, we are holding a kind of context into the num query variable. By using that context, we are actually executing the query, and this kind of execution of query is known as deferred execution. It means up to this point we haven't executed a query, but we have created a query, and this query will be executed only when when we will use this variable into a loop, and we are using this variable into a for each loop. So this num query will be having a collection of what? Collection of all even numbers, and one by one in this for each loop. See, this for each loop will be accessing each and every even number, and after that even number will be printed over here. So this is known as deferred execution. Another example of deferred execution again, but this time instead of using var keyword for the num query, we are actually using IEnumerable int. So you can see IEnumerable is interface, and int is actually the data type that we are defining for the value. So this score query is actually a variable that will be holding the reference to the you see object of IEnumerable, and then we are executing the for each loop on this variable. Yes, so usage of variable here is actually shortening our syntax, and it is more easier to use. So this is again deferred execution. So all uh, values will be printed here. Which values? Which are greater than 80. So 97, 92, and 81 are the values that are greater than 80, and those values are printed here. Clear? So another example of link query, but this time we are actually using the immediate execution, means executing the query without the for each loop. So what we are doing here, from num in numbers, where num mod 2 equals to 0, select num. This is the same query that we already have studied, and then we are actually finding out how many numbers are even numbers. So for that purpose, we have executed count method here, and count method is an aggregate method that is actually giving us the total number of even numbers according to the query that we have written here. Another example you see uh, of immediate execution is the usage of a method uh, at the place where the query itself is created and placed. You see. So what we have done here, we have enclosed the query into the parenthesis, and then whatever the result of that query is on that, actually we have executed a method that is toList. So what we are doing here, for num in numbers, where num mod 2 equals to 0, select num, select all the numbers, and put that list of even numbers into the list, and return the reference of that list to us. And in this way, we are actually executing the query at the place where the query is created. That is known as immediate execution. So this is where clause. You have already seen the examples of where clause also. So with the help of where clause, we used to put the condition on the number also. We used to put the filtering option on the query. Select the number only which are select only those numbers which are less than or equals to 5. So 1, 3, and 5 would be the output. And again, order by class is used to see sequence the selected values, you see, whether into the ascending order or into the descending order, and it's very clear where. So with the help of order by clause, we actually we are sequencing the elements that we are selecting. So this, the result of this query will be the sequence of elements in it, in actually in the order, you see, in which the highest values will be there into the collection. Highest values will be the first values, and the lowest value will be the last value. So we'll meet into the next video. I hope you got all the points about the link. And in the next video, we'll be understanding some other aspects of a link query also. Thank you very much.